All right, folks, good morning. Tuesday, April the 10th, Aprilis, the goddess of fertility. We should be into the new year by tonight. Some people say the 10th, but I think it's tonight. Sometime today or tonight, I believe. That new moon appears. A lot of people say that new moon was yesterday. A lot of weird things going on yesterday. A lot of people reported seeing things during the eclipse, which I was pointing out as well on the live stream. The sunbow that showed up. Beautiful sunbow, by the way. We talk about rainbows, but the sunbow, due to, as we say, the firmament, moisture in the air. But a lot of people recorded that in really big, defined pictures. I noticed it yesterday and pointed it out, but as the title says, they sprayed us yesterday. Obviously, I got it on tape after the video I showed you last night. Clear as day, skies crystal clear. During the time of the eclipse, super hazy, baby powder all in the air that they dropped out. You know, you got to be careful because some of that baby powder they had to do recalls on because it was, I think it was causing cervical cancer. I'm being smart aleck, but I'm dropping code at the same time. But that's what it looked like. Okay, they sprayed us like crops, like bugs. And afterwards, a high research was being done online about people's eyes hurting after the eclipse. People having headaches, people feeling super lazy all of a sudden. So depending on where you were in a certain part of the country, that goes back to the video that I posted with the gentleman and his wife reading off something that he said he wasn't even sure about himself. But going back to that, baby powder was being thrown in the air an hour before. So it had time to move through the atmosphere. But it was clear on tape yesterday because the video that I posted, I'm like, oh, it's going to be great. We're going to be able to see it. And get out there an hour and a half later, it's hazy as I don't know what. Now, when I got off work, 8 o'clock that night, the skies had cleared back up again with a little tint of haziness. So they spray cropped us yesterday. Well, of course, they've been spray cropping us all, it's not nothing new, but particularly on that day, okay? Then the end result of that, people testifying about how they felt. Now, supposedly, if you used those 3D glasses, which is probably what was causing the headaches. Now, this is what our job gave us, and they even have, and they're even marketed as such, Eclipse. Now, they were giving them out to everybody. I didn't use them. I used the phone to look at the eclipse while I was recording it. For me personally, I don't feel any different than I did before the eclipse. The same. My major issue every day is Arthur and the rally in the back, arthritis. But I didn't get a headache or nothing like that. Eyes wasn't hurting, still ain't. But I will say this: if you're not sure, increase your vitamins, your vitamin intake. Vitamin C, vitamin D3, antioxidants, vitamin E, because there's no telling what was in those chemtrails that they laced the skies with baby powder yesterday. And again, I showed you the proof based on 2 videos that I recorded from the same location, 90 minutes in between both videos. So it's clear to me that the rumor was true. And then when I get off work, that stuff is cleared up. So yeah, they crop sprayed us yesterday. I'm on a for sure belief. Now, could the eyes be hurting due to the baby powder they put in the air, or the glasses that they gave out, marketed Eclispe? Okay, so again, here we have another situation, and they even got the date on here, 4/8/24. I was told to read Exodus 4 and 8. We'll go over that later, pertaining signs. But is it a coinky-dink? No, not when you hyped it up and marketed it. It kind of reminds me of something that y'all did in 2020. You give something for somebody to use, say it's for their benefit, and then it ends up hurting them. So, as far as I'm concerned, all the rumors were true about the crop spraying, the baby powder. When I'm hearing reports from people all over the country, people who, and then some who were not even in the path of it, noticed the same thing in the sky. So that's something to, let's look at and be like, okay, we heard about it beforehand. When it happened, we saw it. Okay. So is it a long-term effect? 1 to 2 weeks out. Now again, the argument is they've always been doing that. Yes, they have. But why the timing yesterday just seems so right on time? Okay. Some people said, hey, we had a different view. We saw something different from what y'all saw. Why did it happen this way and not that way? Okay. I'm going to throw my hands up on that, because we're on the ground. We're not up in the air. And I said yesterday, God, here's the thing. The path of that eclipse, the number one thing that's really important about yesterday was God finished writing his name across the United States. That was the number one thing. In the Alpha Tav, he said, I am Alpha and Omega. The significance of that for me is very important. God finished his name. It was finished yesterday. Possibly on Adar, the last day of Adar, the 12th month in the Hebrew calendar. But in Hebrew, the name Alpha and Omega was written across the United States. That's not just whistling Dixie. That's fact. And anything after what happens after yesterday should be no surprise. Okay, no surprise. Couple 6.0s yesterday, earthquakes after that eclipse, and I'm expecting more because the birth pains, because again the map is still super active, and it's becoming more active day by day. As far as I'm concerned, her dilation is getting bigger to deliver the child. So on the way in to work today, I just want to give you just a quick reminder, things that happened yesterday These were not made up stories. We actually saw it, seen the differences in the skies. We had reports of people not feeling well afterwards. So something happened yesterday. Again, I have not checked up on CERN yet. I will. Today I'll jump into it, look into it. And NASA confirmed they did throw the rockets up in here. So Satan showed up yesterday, and we've had baby powder in the air yesterday. These 3D glasses that they used, were they even correct? They look like movie theater glasses. So were you even wearing something that you shouldn't have had on from jump? So that we have that to think about. So at the end of it all, increase your daily regimen of vitamins, antioxidants, all that, because it's a strong possibility that we were crop dusted yesterday. That's funny to say, but it's pitiful to think about and to actually see it with your own eyes. Them crop dusting us during that event. Why? Because they knew a lot of people would be out there as a spectacle. But not in every state did that happen. Okay? I believe it was strategically done. So yeah, we're going to continue to pray. And every day after yesterday was an evacuation day possibility. I know the mockers and scoffers are out, but I feel for you if you continue to do it, because the word of God is clear. You're going to be cut asunder and given your portion, which is nothing but outer darkness. People that don't have nothing else to do but visit everybody's channels and get in the comment section. You want to pull your pants down and show us what color your two cheeks are by getting in the comment section with the negativity, basically laughing at people's faith, which is something Satan does. Satan is quick to do that and use people to do it. And these people don't realize that they are their own worst enemy. No matter how good you think you feel to mock and scoff a person's faith or a group of people and their faith, that's on you, if that's what you enjoy. But you will be given your portion, the Bible says. So people don't look at the down the road repercussions of clowning and acting a fool. There is repercussions for that. And every day we live and breathe and have our being, Deuteronomy 30 and 19 say we are being recorded. You ain't got no privacy, got no privacy. We're being watched every day by God. His eyes are run to and fro. But the face of the Lord is against them that do evil. So people might think it's cool. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get on here and all these people just blah blah blah. And hey, okay. That's something you're gonna have to answer for later. And that's just where we are. The scriptures are alive and well. We have everything working today. Mockers and scoffers. We have the rebellious things ramping up. Satan keep turning up the eyes on them stove, trying to get things heated up. But remember, at the end of the day, God is in control. Just as he told Israel, you're in the palm of my hand. And at this time, we are just like Peter, walking on faith towards Christ. But we cannot allow the tempest to get us off point with the wind, as the Bible says, boisterous winds and rain, thunder, and lightning. That's what his objective is when you're walking on faith towards Christ, is to get you off your spot. And he will send other human beings too to do so. So take inventory about who you're hanging around with. If their comments and conversation don't match up with yours, and you hanging with folks that you're constantly in arguments with or disagreement with, that means you're unequally yoked, and you got to be careful about spending a lot of time around them kind of folks, because they can bring you down and chip away at your faith little by little. So just be careful about who you congregating with on this morning and moving forward. Talk to you in another one. Peace.